Hey everybody, Ben back here for Next Level Radio, bringing you another guest spotlight. This time Adam and I spoke with Chris Geere from the new FX comedy You're the Worst. When we had Chris on, he talked about his character Jimmy and how the show brings a twist on romantic comedies. Trust me, it's definitely a twist that's never really been done before. So be sure to watch You're the Worst Thursdays at 10:30 on FX, and follow Chris on Twitter at CWGeere. That's CWGEERE, not the other way around. For a recap of this interview, be sure to go back and listen to the July 29th episode of the Showcast here on Next Level Radio. And for more interviews and shows, you can check us out, nextlevelradioonline.com, facebook.com/nextlevelradio. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at NXTLevelRadio. And as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview with Chris Geere. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another guest spotlight right here on Next Level Radio. I am Ben Beck, joined by my co-host Adam Geere. And our guest tonight has a new show that just premiered last week. It can be seen every Thursday night on FX. He's the star of You're the Worst, which we predict just could be the next FX hit. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Geere. Chris, how you doing this evening?
Hey, how are you guys? Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Where are you calling us from tonight? I know, are you LA-based or?
I am. Yeah, I'm LA-based at the moment. I'm calling you from a very nice hotel room. We're staying at the Beverly Hilton. We're doing our TCA panel show, so all the television critics are here. We've had a few interviews this morning, and then we're all wrapping up, and I'm going back to the UK on Wednesday. Yeah, so back to normality. It's going to be very strange.
Now, I know the show just premiered last week, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For people who haven't had an opportunity to catch the premiere, tell everybody a little bit about the show and your character Jimmy on the show.
Yeah, well, it's called You're the Worst. It follows the story of two quite messed up people who, professionally and personally, have been dealt a bad hand, and they're very acerbic in their ways. They talk to people, they're just mean people. And but they meet each other at a wedding during the pilot and find an attraction, find a connection between Jimmy and Gretchen. And the series is about them trying to attempt a relationship, even though they don't really want to. So it's kind of like an anti-rom-com with the two leads as quite unlikable people, I suppose, at the beginning. But by the end, you realise that they're actually quite endearing, sweet folk who speak to people in mean ways. So yeah, we went out on Thursday last week, and there's 10 episodes in total.
Okay, and I had a chance to watch it, and by the end of the show, I was very intrigued. So
Did you like it?
Yeah, I actually really did, and like I said, I mean, the beginning of the show, there's this kind of, they shouldn't. It's almost like you're thinking they shouldn't even be talking to each other, but there's something drawing them together, and then by the end of the show, you're really intrigued to see where it goes from here. Did you get to watch? Absolutely. Did you get to watch the premiere and do any live tweeting or anything like that?
Yeah, it was very rare because we actually wrapped the entire season and aired at exactly the same time.
Oh wow!
So we were on split shoots. So we would finish filming at say 2 in the morning. So the show went out on the East Coast about 7 o'clock our time, and then went out on the West Coast. And the response was just amazing because I think people, everyone's used to the formula of a romantic comedy, especially in terms of movies and things. And this just kind of takes that concept and turns it upside down, using these two kind of anti-heroes in a way.
Yeah.
And so the response was fantastic. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to tell a story of two normal people. There's nothing that's too fabricated about the story that we're trying to tell. This is real life, and whether people want to admit it or not, they either behave or would like to behave in this way sometimes. These two characters they say and do what everyone else is thinking the whole time. And they seem to be, Jimmy in particular seems to be the voice of unreason. And that for me has been a joy to play.
Yeah, and he's an author, or was an author, and I could very much see somebody out there, in exactly his situation, published a book, and it's just the way the internet is these days, books aren't quite what they used to be. And he gets like a $17 royalty check or something.
Yeah, that's it. I know. I remember there was a first couple of TV jobs that I did in England. You know, you would get a residual check for, say, £3, which is about $5. You know, and you just keep them all and frame them because it's such an insult. But no, that's what it is. I think Jimmy's he's an author, you know, an English author working in Los Angeles. He had a very successful book, managed to buy a house with the money from that book, and then things all just went a little bit downhill for him. So instead of questioning whether it was anything to do with him, he kind of took it out on the world instead, and that in turn made him very bitter, very resentful towards the idea of you know, love especially. He believes that all relationships are doomed, and so you meet these two people quite early on, and you know, as an audience member, even watching it at the premiere, I was thinking, oh, these characters aren't very nice, but there's something really interesting about them.
Yeah.
And then when you see the two of them together, you realise that they're actually as bad as they are, they're perfect for each other. So you kind of know that the relationship is inevitable, but how they get there, and the way that they get there, it's just such a fun series. It's so original, and it's been a joy to be in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you had mentioned earlier, the idea of the fact that it's kind of like an anti-rom-com, which I don't know if that's ever been done before, though. I mean, the characters are brought together, and obviously they have the connection and they stay together, but it's how they're brought together that's so different from everything else that you see out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge romantic comedy fan in terms of movies. You know, I've been watching them for years, and you always meet the lead character, and you instantly rooting for them. You think, oh, they're really nice, but they haven't been dealt a great hand, and it's the story of them trying to better themselves. These people are awful from the beginning, but there's something quite endearing about them. And through the series, you kind of we explore why they're behaving the way that they do. You know, it's a combination of stuff that happened in their childhood, or being hurt in previous relationships, or, you know, just failing professionally, and that's what's made them as bad as they are. So if people stick with us with the series, which I'm hoping they really will, then we really do look into that, and it's just funny. It's so funny. I mean, I've just seen episode 2, which comes out on Thursday, and the pace of the show, together with the music and the performances, are just is excellent. It's just so unique, and I'm really, really proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned having just seen the show yourself. After all the filming that you do with all the show, because you said you had wrapped up all 10 seasons or all 10 shows already. Mm-hmm. We can only hope the show goes 10 seasons.
I was going to say, hopefully 10 seasons.
Wow, 10 seasons, excellent. Thanks very much.
You see a lot of networks doing that nowadays too. They're filming the entire season before it actually airs. And I think that actually lends a little bit of help as well towards the actors and the actresses in it, because that gives them more of an opportunity to interact with the people that are watching, because they're not tied down by shoots.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is really nice. I feel like this is probably, you know, the shooting was wonderful, but this is the most enjoyable part now, because you can suddenly see all our hard work come to fruition, and people start talking about it. You know, it's weird. Even if people don't like our show, what I'm reading is that they're interested in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's getting some kind of reaction. And I would rather people say, oh, no, it wasn't really my cup of tea because of this, this, and this, than went, no, it was boring. Because it's not boring. It's just amazing. You know, there's some really wonderful moments in there. And of what I've read so far, the reviews are saying that people finding this real groundbreaking stuff. You know, we really pushed the envelope in terms of, you know, a few sex scenes that we have quite early on in the pilot, together with the language and the behavior of the characters towards other characters. And I think it's very relatable.
Let me just say,
life, you know.
I didn't know you could get away with what you got away with in the early sex.
I know. Yeah, I don't think we did either. We wanted it to be as real as possible, you know. the one night stand that these two characters believed they were going into. You know, for anyone that's had a one night stand, of which there are a lot of us, they aren't necessarily sexy. It's not a sexy thing. You know, it's an awkward, complicated mess, and that's really not. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to show that the truth behind that. You know, it didn't need to be a stylistic love-making scene. It needed to be two people who didn't really know each other, who you know, just so happened to hook up that night and weren't thinking they would ever see each other again.
Yeah.
So then they have to backtrack because they realise they've actually got this connection, and both of them hate that. They hate the fact that they really want to see each other again. So they're fighting against.
That's the one great part about the first episode.
Yeah, they don't want to conform to a usual relationship. They think relationships are doomed, like I said. So there's you know, when they go, oh no, I really want to see her again, then that's hard for them.
Yeah, and just speaking in general about, you know, you being a British actor doing an American comedy, it seems like the majority of British actors, when they're doing a comedy, or you know, British or Australian or, you know, whatever language, when they're doing a comedy, it seems like there's a lot more leeway when it comes to keeping their accent. But then, you know, over on the dramatic side of things, it seems like a lot of people with accents have to use an American accent when doing an American TV drama. Was there ever any question as to whether or not you had to keep your accent for the show?
Well, it was Stephen had been looking for this role for about 7 months before I'd even auditioned, and he'd only been auditioning American actors for the part. I read the script, and the brief said that, you know, use an American accent. And as soon as I read it, I was like, I can, and I can send that if you'd like as an option, but I really believe that this character is British. Just the way that he talks to people, I think there's specific delivery in terms of all Jimmy's rants that he has in the episode that I just thought would be funnier if I could do it in my own voice. So I just gave them the option in the audition, and this was on the Tuesday of 1 week, and then the following Thursday I got the call to say that they were flying me out to Los Angeles to test for it. And it was the most amazing process. So within like 3 weeks, I'd got the job. And Stephen has so kindly said since, the creator, that what he's realised is that he'd always written a British part, but just hadn't realised until I was doing it.
I was gonna say, because I mean, looking, you know, now that you say that, I don't know that I could see Jimmy as, you know, with an American accent. I feel like with the British accent, the way he talks, it's almost like people with British accents can get away with more when they say stuff and not come off as an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it was an American accent,
saying worse things.
Yeah, we just think he was a dick if he talked in an American accent, but it's kind of funny because he has a British accent.
I know, exactly. I mean, not saying that. I don't think I'd get away with speaking to anyone in England the way that Jimmy speaks to anyone over here. But there's something that I hope works transatlantically between, you know, my energy versus Gretchen's energy, as you know, English versus American, that makes it rude and funny, but also hopefully quite endearing and charming as well, which would be cool. I mean, I never really had an aim to do that, but this is what I'm hearing, and that's a huge compliment to me, so that's great.
Do you continue to do any British TV while you're doing this, or are you just kind of putting that on pause for right now?
Yeah, well, I just finished a series just before I came out, and the movie that I've got coming out later this year, which were both shot in England. I go back on Wednesday to go and see my family that I haven't seen for 3.5 months because I've been here. And then the next project will be the next project that's brilliant. And wherever that is, I'll be very grateful for it. But no, I love British productions. I love working there. But at the same time, I'm very fond of how things work out here. I mean, it's a very different kind of production over here. You know, I'm used to getting changed in my car and having a sandwich for my lunch, and over here you have trailers and drivers, and it's very exciting. But I'm very much looking forward to whatever the next project is, but I hope it's something completely different. I think it's nice for actors to be able to, if they're lucky enough to find jobs that are different to the previous.
Yeah.
So we shall see. I'm going to give Downton Abbey a go.
Now, looking back at some of the other stuff that you've done previously, unfortunately, I know I haven't seen the movie, but looking back, I know you were in After Earth. Did you?
Yeah.
I like I said, I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet, so I'm not exactly too sure who your character was. But did you work directly with Will Smith when you were in that film?
Yeah, I was there for. This was another audition, as with You're the Worst, that I'd actually done on tape from the UK. It's just a sign of the times, the fact that casting directors can believe in you from a self-tape rather than being in the room. And I'd sent off a self-tape, and M. Night Shyamalan, who was the director, had watched it and cast me from that. There was only 8 or 9 characters in the whole film, and I basically played the navigator of the spaceship that crash lands on Earth right at the beginning. So it's quite a key role in terms of it was my fault that the spaceship crashed. But we were very lucky. We flew to Philadelphia, and I think it was about 5 scenes, and Will Smith was there the entire time. And God, I've never been so starstruck. I mean, you can see why the guy is one of the biggest movie stars on the planet, because he's just a wonderful presence. And he was great to be around, and he's so generous with his time, and whilst being, having full respect for him, and slightly intimidated by how great he is, really. Yeah. But at the same time, I was by the end of day 5, we were all beatboxing in the spaceship together and having a laugh.
So, I mean, Philadelphia is actually where we broadcast from. We're in the Philadelphia area.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, I loved it there.
I was just going to ask, what did you think of Philly while you were out here?
Oh, my God, I love the food in Philly. The food in Philly was amazing, because I'd been to America a couple of times, like on family holidays, and I've been to one pilot season out in Los Angeles, but I was only here for a couple of weeks. But no, Philly, and all the delis that you have there, I'd never tried, like... The sandwich that you have, what's the Philly cheesesteak sandwich and stuff like that? The food was amazing. Plus, I really got into root beer when I was in Philadelphia as well, which is now one of my new favorite things. But the people were lovely, and I went for a run up Rocky Steps on my day off, doing all that tourist thing.
Yeah.
And the studio was kind of a bit of a drive from the hotel, so I got to see a bit of Philly as well. It just looks an awesome place. And they shoot quite a lot of stuff there, don't they?
Oh, yeah. It's more and more all the time. Yeah. They're starting to shoot more and more out here.
That's wicked.
Especially M. Night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And it was quite cold, I remember. You have do you have hot summers and really, really super cold winters?
Yes.
Yeah. Lately, yeah.
So do you like Britain in that way? Because it's been weird over here in Los Angeles. I've been here 3.5 months, and it's never rained once.
Really?
It's been crazy. So,
wow.
Yeah, I enjoy the season.
I wish I knew what that was.
So.
Yeah, no, but Philly was great. I really hope to go back and do something else there soon as well. Because it doesn't take that long as well from England. To come here, it takes about 14 hours, but to go to Philly only took about 6, 7.
Yeah.
It was great.
So, well, I know we're getting to the end of our time, but how we usually like to wrap up our interviews is we like to do what we call our rapid fire. And basically what that is Adam's just going to shoot a couple questions off to you. They're relatively very simple questions. You don't have to go into too much detail. Just answer with the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay. Cool.
All right. First one up. What is because yesterday, in case you weren't aware, yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. So what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Favorite flavor of ice cream? mint choc chip.
Oh, you are a man of my own heart.
Okay.
Oh, love that. I don't know why. It's weird because you can't have like a biscuit or anything with it. It just takes the taste away. But if you have it on its own, it's insane. Love that.
I completely agree.
Next one. If you could meet anybody, who would you want to meet? Anybody who you haven't met, I should say.
If I could meet anybody, I want to meet Jennifer Aniston. I don't know why, but she's one of my she's one of my favorite actresses. I think she's had a wonderful career. I think she's super duper funny, and she's made some great choices. And I'd love to work with her. But if not, probably I'd say Richard Curtis, who's the writer and creator of everything from Notting Hill and Four Weddings and a Funeral and Love Actually. I think he's like the master of the rom-com.
All right. Nice. All right, third one. What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby is watching cookery shows.
Oh yeah. Do you know how to cook?
Oh yeah, I love cooking. I absolutely love cooking. I've missed it so much while I've been away, because you go out an awful lot when you're here because you're working or you're eating on set and stuff like that. So I haven't had much time, but I cook for my wife and my son, and we have barbecues as much as we can. So watching cookery shows or barbecuing.
Let me ask you: Have you ever grilled a watermelon?
No. Does that work?
Apparently.
Apparently, we actually we talked about on our show yesterday a list. There's a list of 10 fruits that you can grill, and watermelon was on that list. Apparently,
really?
That's possible. That's according to that.
Well, you kind of imagine that the water would evaporate from the watermelon, and then it would just be a big mess, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would
think. Yeah, we're gonna have to, but yeah, that's what we
would
would
the
think.
other
But
fruits?
yeah, it was on there.
Bananas,
peaches.
pineapple.
Yeah. Cherries.
Nice.
Mango. So yeah, most of them were pretty, ones that we could see being pretty good. But yeah, watermelon was kind of odd.
Wow, yeah. I'm going to try it, though. I don't care if it works. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, let us know how that works. I'd like to see.
I'll send you a picture. I'll send you a tweet of it.
There you go. Perfect. Last one for you, and we'll let you get going. What's one thing you've always wanted to do, but you haven't been able to do yet?
Oh, wow, that's great. I want to do the London Marathon, but I haven't done yet. I'm a big fan. Okay. I have many charities that I support, but I would love to do the London Marathon. 26 miles running, but it takes an awful lot of discipline.
Do you?
And it's not just doing the race itself, but all the training would be something quite awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you run a lot? Do you like to run?
Yeah, I like, especially around Los Angeles. It's nice. You've got loads of cool places to run around. I go to the gym a lot at home and everything, but to do something where you can get fit and it's good for charity as well, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, I know we're at the end of our time, so we definitely want to send people to check out You're the Worst on FX. It's every Thursday night at 10:30. We want to send people to your Twitter account at CW Geere, Geere. And Chris, thanks a lot for joining us. This was a great pleasure.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to go and grill some watermelon and tune in. That's brilliant. Thanks so much, guys.
We look forward to the picture of the watermelon, by the way.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to tweet me next to a grilled watermelon all in the bottom of the grill, because it's obviously not worked. Look forward to that in the next week.
So, all right. Well, all of our live listeners, be sure to stay tuned. We're going to have another interview for you shortly. In the meantime, check us out on Twitter at NXT Level Radio. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online, and check out our website for all our past interviews and shows, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Stick around, guys. We'll be back in a little bit.